All right, welcome in. Hanna Time, Global Sports Broadcasting Network. Cornelius, Brad, Hanna right here again on a Monday morning Cardinal recap of the Eagles-Cardinals game from yesterday. It was a good one. It was fun to watch. Very entertaining. Like it or not, if you win or lose, it is what it was. And yesterday, a lot of emotions walking out of that stadium, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. We're gonna break it down for you. I got a lot to talk about. I know you do. I know the emotions. I know you woke up, Cardinal fans, thinking, like you want to move on. You want to get past it. Those are hard ones to lose when you had the game right there. You had it. Cardinals had that game. You're right at the end. But we're going to break it down for you here in a minute. But before we do, I'm going to give you a 30-second countdown. I want to get you warmed up. I want you to get involved in the broadcast. I left a link for you to jump on, log into it, come on in. I'll pop you on, talk about your comment, just like a regular call into a show. But this time you're going to be on camera, so be ready, get all dolled up, things like that, okay? But 30 seconds, Hanna Time. Back in Hanna Time, Global Sports Broadcasting Network. Cornelius, Brad, Hanna, lots to talk about again. Let me break it down for you. What we're going to do. Yeah, the Cardinals flopped at the end, and the Eagles fly. They are 5-0. The Cardinals played the best football teams by record in the NFL. Definitely in the NFC at this point are the Eagles, and they came on the road. They traveled all the way out west from the East Coast and took care of business. But the Cardinals again. Broken wings, right? Or just don't know how to fly right away. And they get out of the gates late. And we're going to talk about that, all right? We're going to talk about some positives, though. There were a lot of positives. Things are starting to show those positive things, but it's week 5. And that stuff, it should be week 1 or 2, right? But this is how the NFL wants to set up their seasons. And teams don't really get going until, like I've always told you, you wake me up when September ends, right? Well, guess what? You woke up, it's October, and the Cardinals finally look like a better football team in a lot of ways. Like, they don't look like that team that was week 1, 2, 3. They look like a team that's got more to work on. They got their first quarter problems, their first half stuff, but they started to get back into the game a little bit more, and they had this game in their grasp. It looked like it was going to be a disaster game. But it flipped. Things got going for the Cardinals. But why is it week 5 that this starts to happen? Why is it now? And it's not like the Cardinals were just so great. There's a lot of problems out there. But they look better. I would rather have seen this in week 1 where there's mistakes and it's like, all right, couldn't get this win, but you know what? We're going to get better. What happens 4 weeks from now? Where are the Cardinals? Right? That's like they're 4 weeks behind. Like a lot of teams in the NFL too, by the way. Preseason stuff is all messed up. But the Cardinals really, this screwed them. And a lot has to do with management, coach, everything else that goes into this. Almost a little too late kind of mentality, but they're 2-3. They're not out of the division. There's possibilities all over the place. They hung in there. The Cardinals are alive. It was a tough loss. A win yesterday would have been huge for many reasons. Obviously, 3-2, tied for first place stuff, right? Beating a good team, right? Getting that one off the checklist. Check that box, because the Eagles are going to play the other teams in the division, right? So it would have been that big of a deal. But they're not dead, right? And there's opportunities to still grow and hang in there and hang around. Remember, I told you, hang around. And maybe, just maybe, things pop. Maybe there's that trade again that happens, right? Something could happen, right? Are you confident and comfortable? I'm not. But they're there. Like a lot of teams, still swimming around. And who's on top of the water right now? The Cardinals are kind of like up to here, right? Their eyes are like up and down, grabbing some air. right? And just when you thought that they were going to win a game yesterday, they went back under, right? But here comes that arm, back up, week 6 coming up, and let's see what happens, right? We're only a couple of weeks away from DeAndre Hopkins. Is he the savior? It'll be a big deal for that offense, and we're just going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see. Now, at the back end of this show, we're going to talk some NFL news. Not necessarily all the games, just some news stuff. And we also want to finish off with the Major League Baseball playoff scenario, the schedule itself, what happened yesterday in New York with the Mets, and the story behind that one. And just kind of pop in there because Thursday night, it's going to be baseball night. It's going to be a football night. And we're going to make sure we get you warmed up for the rest of the week, too. All right. Get your comments in. If you want to pop online, I appreciate it, too. And, it's like one of those Mondays where you just want this week to move faster if you're a Cardinal fan. But if you're an Eagles fan or a team that won, you're living it. You're loving it. This is what Mondays in the NFL season as a fan is like, right? All right, so let's pop in here, guys, all right? I got a lot of you popping in right now, listening. I want to say real quick, love always wins, the T-shirt. I'm kind of wearing it. You can't really see it, but I'm also going to pop it on the screen. You can buy it. Go to there's a link right there on the post itself. Grab it. One of my favorite shirts itself. Love always wins. And I've been always telling you that, guys, for many years when I end my show. So there it is, too. And if you're a big Jesus fan, there's another shirt you can grab. Love it. Jesus Energy. Grab it. Go to the link on the post itself and search your way through that and grab one. Okay. All right. As we're going through, I got my sponsors at the bottom of the screen. If you want to look at those going through, I appreciate that, too, as the show runs on here on Hanna Time itself. All right, Cardinals fans itself, I just want to say right out of the gates, you guys tailgated your butts off yesterday, okay? I made a 1-hour hangout. I went out there, and you guys tailgated your butts off. And you guys who tailgate out there, who cook out there, who share their food out there, I want to give you major love because that was fantastic. I saw Troy out there. He was just going nuts with his Philly cheese steaks. I saw Dave Hoffman doing what he was doing. It was people lined up like they usually do, but this was special. Even the Eagle fans were glorifying it. Special day for that part. You guys don't get enough credit, but you do share a lot of your food. And I just noticed that more and more, maybe because I'm not up there enough, but you guys, you share your love, man. And you share everything up there. Nobody's greedy out there. And I love seeing that. That's why I always say love always wins. And that's why I brought that up as we head into the show and dig into it, because it's going to get a little negative and I want to try to balance this a little bit. All right. Let's start with what happened at the top. The Eagle fans, I know the fans were there in large amounts. The Cardinal fans were not happy with this. This is not common. This has been going on since the Cardinals have been in Arizona. And at times it looked like the Cardinal fans owned that stadium for the most part, but it's still not there. It's still not there. As this photograph behind me, as you can see, there's a lot of green behind me. This is the last play of the game, the missed field goal stuff. But you can see and you heard it on TV if you were at the game, and it bothers you, and I know it does. It was a fun atmosphere. I give you that. It was a great energy. I like that, but as a Cardinal fans, you guys don't, and I know why, because this is your house, and you need to own that, and you need to have home field advantage, and it's very difficult to have home field advantage when almost half that stadium looked like and felt like was Eagle fans. Okay. This has happened before. Just don't get all, and I know why you're upset. People selling their tickets. They're selling their tickets. Look at this guy here. This is one of those fans. I don't know if I've seen a lot of people watching this. Okay. This is how they felt. This is what the Eagles fans, this whole thing. And I know the Cardinal fans did not like a lot of the Eagle fans. A lot of stories were popping up and down social media and after that game, and just a lot of it has to do that you lost and it was frustrating, and the Eagle fans will put it in your face. That's that East Coast mentality. They don't mind putting it in your face. They come on a road trip, they want to pop it in your face, just like maybe you do that. I don't know if Cardinals do that on the road, but East Coast fans and, the old football teams, they will pop it in your face. And it's an attitude that is it's passionate and maybe more passionate than most of those Cardinal fans, in a different way. It's not your way, but this is the Eagle way. And you just got to play with the territory. I just hope there was no fighting and stupid things like that because of emotions. You just got to let it be. This is how it's over and done with. You walk out, it's over. And yeah, you were frustrated, but taking it out on an Eagle fan doesn't really change the score. Okay. Doesn't change the score. But this guy, yeah, that's how Cardinal fans by looking at this guy. All right. So yeah, but you see behind me the wave of fans back there too. Here's a stat for you too. Kyler Murray going into the game, he's on track of having the most passes recorded in NFL history. They're trying to run, but there is no running game like it was a year ago. They had a very effective running game a year ago when they jumped out with that great record. But Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, there's no balance in the offense. They can't run. They're stopping the run. They're challenging the Cardinals to throw the ball, and the Cardinals are being forced to throw. And yes, they're behind a lot, and they are being catch-up football every game. They're catching up. They have yet to score any points in the first quarter. So yesterday, they got a little bit better because they started scoring something in the second quarter. That first half was a misery for Cardinal fans, right? And the Cardinals organization got a little bit better. I'm not really going to jump through hoops, but that first quarter coming out of the gates, you're not ready. And something is completely not ready. But when your quarterback is on pace and he's not this elite quarterback, there's a problem. There's a problem, folks. Because if he's on track throwing that many passes and you're not winning and you're not blowing people away and scoring at a high level, there's another problem, and there's another reason for it. And Kyler's got to step his game up. The coaching staff, everybody on that team. Okay, that number needs to come down. They don't need to be the most throwing team in the NFL and breaking records as a quarterback. That's not the NFL. That's not the balance of an offensive attack in the NFL. That's going to get you far. Kind of a cool number to talk about, but there's a lot of problems behind that doesn't sit well, and you don't want to go there. But just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. I do want to give out some beautiful love and some great game yesterday between these two guys. How pumped were you to see these two men, the young and the old, go at it yesterday? Yes, put your hands up and say, yeah, brothers, you guys brought it. You are ready. Zach Allen, you're playing like a Pro Bowl since day one. You came back, Zach Allen, from last season and after an injury, and you started coming on at the end. When J.J. Watt got hurt, you started getting better and better and better, Zach Allen. And this season, you're on fire. You've been derailed by your injuries. Just what if those injuries never got to you? Where are you now? But now we're getting to see the greatness of this guy and how far. And he's learning. He's learning from this guy on the right on the screen, J.J. Watt. There's no doubt. The similarities, the aggressiveness, the mentality, the urgency, right? Tackling all over the field, up and down the line, sideline to sideline, right? These two guys are saving this defense a little bit because they're the only ones busting their butt at the front. Everybody else is just no-show. I don't know anybody doing anything in the middle. The linebackers are lost, right? They're not making impact plays is what I'm getting to. And the secondary is just going to get beat up because that's the third line of defense, right? So you got to get it up front, but they need help up the middle. These guys will even be better. J.J. Watt was tremendous yesterday. Leadership. They missed his leadership towards the end of the year last season because this guy, J.J. Watt, man, that at his age, God bless, he's waking up this morning feeling better. I know he's been through a lot, even last week with his heart issue. Hope everything is just waking up and he's feeling good, man, because he worked his butt off yesterday. You saw the photograph about J.J. Watt I sent out yesterday. That's a game face. I'll bring it up in a second. But Zach Allen had, the sack, the tackles. All right, J.J. was there. These guys brought the energy on defense and kept them in the game, kept the games close, right? This wasn't some genius defensive coordinator stuff. This is individual wins, individual efforts by these two guys. And it got the crowd in it, right? They loved it. They were looking for it. You guys, the fans, were looking for something, right? And these guys brought it to you. And then you go, all right, who else is stepping up? Who else is going to bring it? And you started to see more guys popping off, right? And the offense started to get going because they fed off their defense success, right? It wasn't great, but you started seeing it. And that's why they hung in there. That's why they made a comeback again. And they almost finished another comeback. We would be talking about another Cardinal comeback. The cardiac kids, right? The comeback kids, right? This would have been it if they made that field goal. And we'll get to all that stuff in a second. I mean, I'm just trying to get all the beautiful love yet for the first part of the show. Yeah, you want to see that game face of JJ? All right, here, I'll give it to you right now. I don't. It's not the closest shot, but maybe. But this, when I took this shot, this is right before kickoff. He's not with the team. He's looking in the crowd. He's almost challenging the fans. He's looking at Eagle fans on all, and this you can see the stare down in his eyes, looking at the crowd. Right, the fans were going nuts. Right, and JJ's loving it. It was pumping him up. He was feeling all this energy, man. And I'm like, where are everybody? Like, this is what other guys need. Like, everybody needs to be following this leader, this giant man, right? This football player. He's a football player, but he knows how to play with a sense of urgency. And hopefully the Cardinal players are learning that. And I don't know if they have the ability to match a 32-year-old guy who's out playing guys in their 20s. Just think about that. This guy is still playing at a high level. Not the great JJ from the Houston days, but still playing and bringing it. But Zach Allen is definitely helping him. Definitely helping him out. All right, so all right, let's get into some of the hard stuff a little bit, I guess you want to say. You want to go to the kicker stuff, folks? Do you want to get down to it? Yeah, I'm gonna lay off of some of the photos and images right now. So we're gonna pop on what happened. Okay, what happened at the end of the game? And I did a lot of talk after the game. I hung around. I even saw Kyler Murray come out of the locker room hour and after the game, like well after. I got a photo of him. I'm going to show you. I got a photo of him. Yeah, he's just getting shirtless in the parking lot. He's frustrated. He just wants to relieve him. Like, you can see it. He's not happy, right? You know, no matter how you may feel about him being good or bad or, whatever, he's still a competitor. And what happened after the game and why he stuck around for so long after the game itself, coaches meeting, whoever, what's going on. Maybe this is where I brought it up last week with Kyler Murray and that what's going on with Kingsbury. I believe there's conflict there. And maybe this is where something needed to get done after the game. We don't know, but Kyler usually comes out of the game after the game later than most players. That I'll give you. This was a little bit later. This took more time for Kyler to get out of that locker room. Okay. Don't want to speculate too much, but Kyler's usually one of the last ones to leave for whatever reason. Okay. Just keep that in note too. But what happened? All right. So, it was a near great defensive play by Jalen Thompson. We cannot forget how close that came from them to intercept that pass with about 1:48 to go in the game before the Eagles kicked their game-winning field goal, right? That decided the game. That was in Jalen's hands. He collides, I believe it was Murphy, right? And that was Jalen's ball. It was right in front of me, and it was interception. What a huge turnover. Couldn't believe it. And then I see the ball fly away, pops away. I'm like, oh, my gosh, what a huge. And I'm thinking, Jalen Hurts, man, I don't know what you were throwing, but that was like triple coverage. There was like a jump ball, dangerous throw, right? That was a big whatever in his brain, Jalen Hurts, right? Having a good game, but he almost gave that one away to the Cardinals, right? And gave the Cardinals a huge chance. And that would have changed the whole 2-minute drill, the whole last 2 minutes of the game for the Cardinals' last final drive, right? A different perspective for them getting down the field. But the field goal was made. It was 20-17, as you know. Cardinals had no timeouts. They did everything possible. That defense made a big stand. not letting him in the end zone. Remember, if they got in that end zone, it would have been even harder, or maybe a blessing. Who knows? But Murray, the final drive, 15 yards, quarterback draw. Boom. Right up the field. And you're just thinking, all right, we're getting close to field goal range. Cardinal fans are feeling it, right? And then you get a false start by Beachum, 2nd and 12. That hurt because you had a 2nd down and 7. No, 2nd down and 3, right? Because Ertz caught a pass, right? So this is where these fundamentals, you got to be sound because that does hurt. That's time off the clock, another play. You get it? And now it's 2nd and 12, right, on a false start, right? Yes, it was a 3-yard pass. But anyway, it's another play, another more time off the clock. Wide open, Ertz down the field. The following play was wide open, folks. Ertz was wide open, Cardinal sideline, pretty much 20 yards down the field, and Kyler Murray just overthrew him, just missed him. Nah, that's quarterback's fault. Ertz got open. He worked his ass off yesterday, and he was awesome too. You know, he was working his butt off. Now it's 3rd and 7, but he goes back to Ertz. 1st down, Cardinals. Now they're in position, right? Clock's moving along, right? Everybody's jumping around. The stadium's going nuts, right? And then he finds Rondell Moore, right? At 52 seconds left. It's 2nd and 5, right? Now they're getting closer, right? And then there's a bigger play to Marquise Brown. What is it? 34-yard gain, right? Marquise, great play. 36 seconds, right? Everybody's moving, hurry, right? It's chaotic, right? And then you're thinking, somebody think here. This is where the Cardinals, a lot of problems happened in the past, right? Murray keeps the ball. He runs, down to the 5-yard line-ish, right? With 22 seconds left, he slides, and then they get up, and they hurry up, and they spike it, and you thought you had the 1st down, and then I thought he had the 1st down. I couldn't tell, and I was looking around, and the clock said something else, and the scoreboard said, and I'm looking at, I'm like, what down is it? Too late. He spiked it. I'm thinking, all right, 2nd down. All right, 22 seconds left. Got a couple of shots in the end zone, right? All right, let's go. Win it. Walk it off. Did anybody know it was 4th down? I was trying to figure it out, and I was confused, right? And I didn't really see if anybody looked on your video. Did the referees put the hand up for 4th down? Usually referees like to put their hands or remind the quarterback or the sidelines, but the blame could be many places. The referees are not committed to communicate, but they generally, most of the time, they do. They're engaged. They want to make sure. They don't have to do that. That's one thing I don't know if it happened or if anybody was listening. Like, what was going on? Was everybody just deaf at that point? That's the part I don't know. Then Kyler thinking he had the 1st down was his problem. That's the sort of I know it all kind of mentality. Instead of just chilling out, you got 22 seconds left, right? Make sure. Look around. Look at your coach, right? Look at the referee. Ask him. In your mind, you should know you slid feet first, Kyler. You should know that there's a question mark because you don't know where they're marking that ball. They don't know where they're putting it. So the big lesson learned, but this is year 4, Kyler. You should know better, right? And no timeouts. It's okay because they used them at the right time. I mean, it was a real challenge. It was 4th down, folks. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, their kicker missed it. And it wasn't good. He was a backup guy who was struggling during pregame. If you didn't see it during pregame, he was missing wide right. He missed wide right in warm-ups, and he missed wide right in the game. At the biggest moment, this guy never was in a bigger, never NFL game like this before. Like, this was pressure. Right? This guy wants a job somewhere. He makes this kick. It's on his resume, right? It changes his life a little bit. He can start putting it around. Now, that poor guy, who's going to look at him? You choked or you missed it poorly, right? On an indoor stadium, right? The snap was fine. Everything was clean, but your kick. Now, I'm not going to pick on him. It's not his fault. Well, it is. Not completely his fault, right? It's not completely the kicker's fault. But the Cardinals made a decision to bring a guy in to make those field goals. Okay. Did they bring the right guy in? There you go. Right. You can question a lot there. All right. So, but this is something that happened after the game. Okay. It happened after the game. And I got your comments. I'm going to go to them right after this because I know you've been blowing it up. And I see you guys, and I'm going to get you engaged right away. If you want to come on the show, you can. All right. So right after the game, they're talking to the kicker, right? Who just missed the field goal. Poor guy is like, I'm never going to have a job again, man. And the media is all over him. And here comes Justin Pugh. Not my favorite offensive lineman, but definitely a great teammate, right? He is a really good teammate. He's, to me, average offensive lineman compared. Like, he's not destroying people, right? But he comes to the rescue of this young kicker who was getting a lot of pointing fingers. Okay. And I know the fans didn't quite point the fingers at the coach, at the kicker. Didn't quite hear a lot of the fans talk, but the media was all over him. And Justin came over and just blasted the media, blasted them. It's not on one effing guy, he says. I'm not going to quite say it. Sometimes I do. All right. Cardinals veteran offensive lineman Justin Pugh steps in and defends kicker Matt Amendola, who missed the game-tying field goal against the Eagles. Okay, this is like all comes from Channel 12 in Phoenix itself. But and I think I got this from Breon too, who popped it up to me. And this was a good one. This is where players, teammates, and locker room can be saved by guys like this. All right. I felt bad for Amendola in many ways. Okay. I wish he made the kick for many reasons, for his personal reasons, for the team, for the fans, right? But this was a tough one. This was a tough one for that kicker. And to see a guy show up for a kicker, that's again, my t-shirt. I can't show you enough, right? Love always wins, right? That's my t-shirt, right? Go buy it, folks, because that's what it was about. Again, love always wins. That guy showed him a lot of love. Don't know, but the media never should have went after this guy. Yes, you want an explanation. Yes, but the questions to piss off another teammate or come to his defense or just protect him, because they've all been under that pressure before. They've all been scrutinized by the media before. And if you're not used to it and able to deal with it, you don't know how this wrecks a career. Also, this guy may still have a chance. He may get another chance somewhere else. He may. But is it in his head now that he missed a field goal and then the media is on him and it's all over TV and everywhere? Is he able to digest that as a kicker? And I'm glad Justin stuck up for him and give him some love to break up something like that. It's a good major love right there. Let's give it up for Justin. Give it up to Justin. Okay. All right. Henry Perez, 0-8 since last year at home. Yes. Good job. Cardinals have not the home field advantage. The bird's nest is on fire, folks. Is there a fire department out there that knows how to put this out? Can you help? Fans, can you figure out how to put out this fire? Okay. Because that's what's going on. It's torched right now, right? They got to find a way to calm this thing down, to get it under control and rebuild something, because the bird's nest is no longer the way it used to be. Used to be one of the greatest home field advantages, right? Remember all the false starts the other team used to get? Not happening. It's not because the other fans are showing up. It's just the product, everything else. Good job. Who was that? Henry got that. Prater was not feeling good yesterday. Andrej, he was hurting. He was hurting. Sammy, it is his fault. Bringing this kicker was a horrible decision. Yes, kicker's fault, of course, his job. But who brought him in? It's their job, right? It's front office manager not doing their homework, right? Or was there anything out there? Who knows? He is average and always hurt. Yes, good job, Sammy. No Larry Party. Not going to happen for a while, folks. Let's see. More comments coming in. Let's go to the top. go to the top. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Sakura, how you doing, Sakura? Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Dawn out in London or England. Christine out in Tucson. Sakura, I got so mad we should have won that game. No excuse. Oh, she's on fire. Brian, I'm so glad we talked yesterday. Brian did. Yeah, Brian, give me your comments. Bob Underwood, how you doing, Bob? Stephen Harris, good job, Stephen, what you're doing. Brian, I call them father and son. Father and son. Play calling just horrible. This is Sammy. Queensberry doesn't know how to utilize plays for his team. She's got more to say. And it showed. You could have used a lot more of Dortch. Did we even see Dortch? Didn't use a, let's see here. Audra coming back in. There was a situation that happened yesterday with the Eagles fans, with some of the fans. Yes, I will tell you the details later. Oh, I understand what happened. I saw a lot of it. And Kathy Shears, one of the fans, got really involved in some Eagle confrontations. One of your fans. The Eagle fans were punks. That's what they're unsatisfactory. Whose side are the security guards on? Security guards don't know what the heck's going on sometimes, and then sometimes they don't want to engage, right? Or they've been told when to get engaged. F the Eagle fan. That's Jesse. Bird Gang. Breaking news. Panthers just fired their coach. Yeah, I was watching that, Brian. New coach in Carolina coming. At least the Cardinals are not as bad as the Panthers, right? Record-wise. Is Keim and Michael so deaf or blind about Cliff Kingsbury? Seriously, Cliff is on to his 4th year. Well, he's got a contract too. We'll see how this goes. More comments coming in. I appreciate it. Man, Sammy's going off today. She's feeling it. Oh, Texas absolutely destroyed Oklahoma. Oh, he called them Choklahoma. Yeah, sooner or later, man, right? Mariana. Yes, I know you're having a rough one too. Rams, right? The Cowboys. You can't let the Cowboys come into your stadium and beat you, man. But the Cowboys may be finally figuring something out. I don't think they're that great, but the Rams are not playing good. We're going to talk about the Rams and their quarterback situation. Also, what's going on in LA. Wilkes is the interim in Carolina. Oh, boy. Thank you, Joel. It's just the irony of this whole season, right? George Zick, good morning from Idaho. I didn't get to see the game, but I think they should work with, let me see what you got, the kicker. Oh, yeah, they got to. And I don't know if Prater's making him back in time for the next game. Got to wait and see. Courtney says, Cliff, Steve, Keim need to go. She's Courtney, man, you've been hard on me in the past about all this stuff. Sounds like you're kind of feeling it now. And I know it wasn't just me, but the product and everything is getting to you. And I know it's frustrating. And you deserve better. You do. You guys put a lot of money into this. Until that happens, I don't see much happening. Sad but true. I know. I've been saying this for 4 years, but I'm right. At times I was wrong when they were 7-0. But in the end, it comes back to it, what they really are. And we'll see what happens with DeAndre Hopkins, Courtney. You know, he may be a savior for that offense. He may be the MVP because right now they can't win without DeAndre Hopkins. Let's put that in perspective, right? It is the D-hop, and the team will hop before they'll fly, right? They got to fly with this dude. Cowboys keeping Cooper Rush and benching Dak Prescott. How crazy is that? Courtney says, I'm feeling it. Took some time. I definitely like K1, but he's not doing anything for us. Yes. I know. And then, you know, you're going to get a couple of beautiful games and you're going to all jump on the bandwagon. And it's when is it all going to be just a solid one, right? Where you don't have to worry about it. It's hard because nobody's perfect. No team's perfect, right? You want to get to this Kansas City Chiefs status. You want to get to where Tom Brady brings his team, right? You want that experience. You want to get there. You want to get back to where you went to that Super Bowl, that NFC Championship game, you know, a couple of years with Bruce, right? You want that feeling where you just kick ass, right? You thrive to get there as a fan just as much as a team and an organization. And you're not feeling it. You don't see it happening. And you're going to get a couple of nice gifts or whatever, and you're going to feel it and you're going to get excited and, you know, and then you're going to get slapped again. And you're going to, what was that for? Wake up. That's what it's for. Wake up. A lot of fans are getting slapped. Unfortunately. I agree with Sammy. This is Joel. Where's Dortch? They need to get the ball in this kid's hand. You know what happened? Rondell Moore, right? I have it in my notes, folks. And the fans are going off today. I'm loving you guys. You saw a lot of Rondell Moore. They really went towards him. They went targeting him, especially in that second half. They came out and it was more and more and more. And it was effective. There was some plays there, but it wasn't the plays that Dortch would get. Dortch was getting more downfield, making some catches, right? Kind of helping moving the chains. Rondell was kind of like that fourth running back kind of guy, right? The sweep, right? The short little bubble pass, getting him downfield. This guy was supposed to be a burner, right? Where's the burner? You're trying to get the guy burning out of the gates within 5 yards. That doesn't, everybody's playing close to the line of scrimmage. The bubble stuff in the NFL has its good moments, but if you're not effective running the ball and you're not effective of getting the ball downfield, you're stretching the field, the bubbles, it's always being popped, man. And you're not popping it for the big play. They're popping you. And there's no running game. James Conner got hurt, right? Then Williams got hurt. But even then, the game they weren't running the football. They weren't. And then, Eno, Benjamin played great. What a beautiful thing. Another star, right? Another guy who plays with an attitude, who plays like a football player. James Conner plays like a football player. These guys run like running backs, right? Williams, they have guys that run like running backs, hard to bring down. They fall forward. They know how to twist and turn and keep. They have running backs. They really do. They're not blocking well, right? That front line, they put some money into this thing, and it's not doing it. And there's the battle lost right there. Now the game is half taken away. Now Kyler Murray has more pressure to do things. And we'll get into Kyler more. I got so much to say about this guy. I'll say it now. What the heck, since we're on it. All right. Kyler Murray does not do a good job seeing the field. He's short. We talked about this 4 years ago. He's short. And I stand in the back of the end zone for a couple of reasons. And one of them is I like to see what Kyler does, because there's a lot of, especially when the ball is down towards the end zone where I'm situated, I can see maybe what he's seeing, right? Because I'm getting that view. And there are throws where I believe he's anticipating because he sees it and then it's blockage. And then he throws it in a window and he's got some success, and then it's some dangerous throws, or he doesn't see it and doesn't trust it. And then he brings it down, takes off, or starts to panic, or he throws a bad pass or throws it away. It's almost like he is fixated on one receiver, maybe two, but it's like primary. Like he's got his video game and he's got his play, and he wants to hit that certain play on that video game. He, in his mind, this is like, I'm trying to get into his head, and I see that he's got that video game in his head and he's going to go there, but it's not there, or it's there, right? Like it's not always going to be there. That's not managing a game. That's not being a quarterback in the NFL. Okay. These other young quarterbacks that are blooming and blossoming well see the field a lot better. They're taller, give them that, and they have more patience to see more downfield. Kyler doesn't have enough patience because he doesn't get to see what taller quarterbacks are seeing. This is never gone away. This has been the biggest issue, and that's why we see some great moments, and that's why we see some bad moments, right? And I got to give love to Breon, who's also been talking about this. I don't know if he really has the ability, not even to check down, to see everybody else, see his third option, right? To see the field. Does this sound like a year ago? Does this sound like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, right? This is I mentioned this 4 years ago, and it's still here, and it won't go away. Kyler needs to get out of the pocket because he can see the field better, right? And then a lot of times when you see the field better and when you get out of the pocket, what happens? You break down the defense because now they're worried about him to run. Kyler wants to throw the ball. He really doesn't want to run. He'll run when he has to, and he should do more because that's part of his game. Because other than that, he's pretty much one-dimensional in a lot of ways, right? So he gets out of the pocket. A lot of times he's running for his life. Or for what I can see, and a lot of you see it too, is when he doesn't get his primary receiver locked in the way he wants it and doesn't want to throw it, he tucks it, gets out. He gets out of the pocket. He doesn't have to get out of the pocket, though. He doesn't want to stay in the pocket. And this must be his problem throughout high school and college. That's his DNA. He doesn't want to stay in the pocket, to just breathe and wait one more and look somewhere else. His eyes are off, and then it's like panic. He feels pressure more. But he trusts his legs because he is able to get away with his legs for the most part, right? But, in the last couple of seasons, yes, last year and this year, teams are getting to him, and they're hitting him more, right? And they're getting him more, right? And he's not taking off like he did late in the game or when you saw him do those quarterback draws and things. That was what was happening a lot when the Cardinals were successful. The Cardinals are only going to win, folks, if Kyler does that. And yeah, he's going to get hit. Yes, he's going to get hurt. And yes, it may diminish his career, but they're trying to save $1 million, multi-million dollar quarterback for the next whatever years, right? So they don't want him hurt. So they're trying to make him in the pocket, and he can't stay in the pocket. Can't. He just doesn't have that peace back there. He doesn't feel peaceful. His height doesn't help, right? So he wants to leave. And when you get out of the pocket, right, he's effective to run, but then the defenses come up. And then receivers who can do a better job to follow your quarterback, come back to the ball or streak away, and Kyler can find wide open guys like in college, right? Like in high school. And you got these beautiful highlights, but they're wide open, right? There's a lot of open space, right? So there's like this, what are we going to get? So Kyler is effective out of the pocket, but then it gets diminished too, because now you're one side of the field. You're trapped. There's nobody open. The receivers are not open. They got a guy playing deep. Everybody's playing a deep safety, or they got a safety back there that they're making sure the Cardinals will never, ever beat you deep. And guess what? The Cardinals are not beating anybody deep. They're not. They got no deep game. They got a Marquise Brown that you thought everything. He ain't going deep. Rondell Moore, is he going deep? No. Ever so often, it's A.J. Green, which is a good deep route guy, and he's made some plays going deep. But because it's not there. It's not there. So when Kyler gets out of the pocket, he wants to look downfield. He wants to go long. I told you this a couple of weeks ago. Kyler Murray wants to throw the deep ball. Like, he wants that. That's part of his game. It's not there anymore. Okay, Christian Kirk was great at it. He was able to get open. And, he's doing really well in Jacksonville. They miss him. They really do. They really do. We'll get back to that another day. But the deep route is not there. They take it away. And then they got to work the middle of the field. They got a great tight end in Ertz who knows how to get open in the open space. We got that guy. Thank God. Good move. But everything else is, when you roll out, folks, you got one side of the field. That's it. One side of the field. And there's a lot of bodies coming towards you. And there's not a lot of room. And sometimes you make a good play, and sometimes there's nothing there. So everything's broken down. But in the past, the Cardinals were making some plays when Kyler would get out of the pocket. Kyler needs to run when he gets out of the pocket. He really does. At this point, I am convinced. Kyler, run, because you can't worry about your body anymore, because this offense cannot succeed if you do not run. It's not the game I want my quarterbacks to have, right? I don't want them running quarterbacks. I don't like running quarterbacks in the NFL because they will get hurt and they will get banged up and beat up, okay? Lamar Jackson's surviving because he's bigger. He's a big running back, right? But he's also getting hit, and that's not going to last long. But his body is bigger to absorb something, right? Kyler's tiny. So, yeah, Kyler, we're going to make sure we protect you more. And we don't take off. Protect your body. Throw the ball away. Slide. Get out of the way, right? Just take care of yourself. Yes, common sense. But at this point, it's not his game. It's wider in everybody's brain more than ever. Go. Take off, Kyler, and let it be. And if you get banged up, it is what it is. It is what it is, because I don't know if this offense will ever be anything beyond what we've been watching unless Kyler takes off. Because then his game gets better. The running game gets better. A lot of things break down on the defenses because they got to worry about it. They're not worried about Kyler Murray, folks. They're not. All right. More comments coming in. Margie, the owner should get his money back. Bingo. Ching, ching, right? Or somebody. He's going to disappear when Nook comes back. Yeah, I agree. Vince Caruso, Hollywood Brown needs the ball more. I agree. But, when D-Hop comes back, D-Hop gets the ball. And Marquise Brown may get more shots downfield. We're going to see a different offense when D-Hop comes back because D-Hop will draw attention that nobody's scared nobody's afraid of Cardinal players on offense. D-Hop will do it because he's going to make sure he gets attention. Now we're going to wait for what the Cardinals' plan was with these receivers and see if this offense can actually, now let's get back to some love. Let's get back to some positive, okay? But now we're going to have to wait. This is two parts of the season now. We all talked about it. I was hard on it, but I kept saying, weather the storm. It's going to be ugly. And if they can find a few wins, I even said if they were 2-3, right, or 2-4 going into that D-Hop game, I would take it because I didn't see anything beautiful. Right now they're 2-3. They almost had 3-2. So they're right there on the doorstep. They can be 3-3 and they've weathered the storm, and then maybe this offense goes. Sad that your quarterback can't make your go, but it may take a really special talent in DeAndre Hopkins. But we'll have to wait and see. Do the Cardinals mess this one up, or can they actually get into their game planning of what they really wanted to do before they lost Hopkins to the suspension? So we're going to have to breathe another week and hope the Cardinals can find that win. If you're a Cardinal fan, you got to hope they can find that win. And to me, it'll be a very successful first 6 weeks of the season. The first quarter of the season would be very, very successful. That you may have 3 wins where it's just like, to me, that's a huge win. Because now we don't know how this D-Hop thing is going to play out. We don't, right? We don't. But we have a lot of positive thoughts, excitement, saying, all right, we need a boost. This is like getting a trade to help your team out, but they got the guy. He's coming, right? He's coming back again. Like when you traded for him, like it just boosted the offense. They can't win without D-Hop. And if that continues, when they win with D-Hop, then you should anticipate a lot good offense and something else. And it's not because of Kyler Murray. It's because another element, a star, changes the dynamic of their passing game. Okay? Kyler just has to manage it and let these dudes get the ball to these guys and let them do the work. They got talent in the running game. They got running backs, catching the ball, running the ball. They're going to have a Hopkins. They got a Brown that can catch. Just got to get them downfield and let them do it. Forget the Rondell Moore experiment stuff, folks. You guys all thought he was Tyreek Hill. I saw all this stupid stuff. I'm thinking, no, the guy is a midget like a midget, and he's small and tiny. He's about $150. No, he's not Tyreek Hill. He'll never be that guy. You hit him. Did you see him get tackled yesterday? Like, he was like a feather, man. Poof. Some guy blew him up. He just left his feet like Tyreek Hill doesn't go down like that. Rondell Moore is a piece that is like 4th string on most teams, folks. They're trying to make him into something. Stop forcing something. Go with your best. It's like, here we are again. Cardinals, another wide receiver, wasted pick, wasted away, right? The Isabella Love, they lost Christian Kirk, right? Where are all these receivers that you draft? You got to trade for guys. You don't even have the ability to draft a wide receiver. And you go after it early, but you had so many opportunities to get some really good ones. But you can't. Your scout team sucks. Your evaluations suck of player personnel. You don't draft well, and you can't even find a kicker to make a kick. And that's blame. Evaluation and scouting. Oh, we tried them out and we looked. It's not just getting him onto the practice field and let a kicker kick the ball. Oh, he looked good. Let's go. No, you got to go into his history, his background. I'm sure they tried, but again, this is what the Cardinals do best. They suck at evaluation. They really do. They really do. Okay. All right. And we're going to get into guys like Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons, and they're not bringing it. They're not bringing it, folks. They're not bringing it. All right. Gosh, you guys got so much here. I hope I did stimulate you guys. Kyler, third option is Kyler. Good job, Joel. No check down, just run. Breon, that is not a quarterback job. You have X, Y, and Z. Yep, and it doesn't happen. Kyler doesn't look at why. And why doesn't he look at it, right? That's kind of funny. And we paid $250 million. Joel's funny today. What is more valuable on Kyler, his legs or his arm? His legs. Yeah, because it sets up his arm. Hey there, Vince. Josh Allen can scramble and stay in the pocket for a good minute. Why Diggs looks ageless. Yeah, there you go. But he's taller too, Vince. He's tall, man. Margie, the owner. We said that one already. Joe, I think it's the success being 3-3, 2-4 right now. They've had coaching. Okay. Henry's laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at, but maybe it's the Oklahoma thing. Lisa in Iowa. Here you go, girl. Dortch, much better than Rondale. I agree. Kime sucks. I agree. Lisa, hello. Henry, love it. Finally, someone says it vocally on everything from scouting to the front office. Thank you. Yeah, it's bad. Very bad. And Margie says, I can make that kick. Margie, I'm going to sign you up. I'm going to sign Margie up. Dave Hoffman. Oh, Troy. There's Troy. This takes right here. This take right here. Okay. Hey, Dave and Troy. I don't know if Dave in the show right now looking at comments. I'm going to go back a little bit. There's Lucy in the house. Lucy, your site is excellent. You know what's up. Appreciate that. Imagine for Kyler and a Connor at running back, pro formation, having a real quarterback under center. Very dangerous. Yeah, you've been saying that for a while, Breon. He's never under center. It's a different game. When you're in the shotgun, it allows the defenses to set up more for the pass, and it's more common, right? Agree, Joel says. Running backs are solid. Great question. Needs to go. Who else? I don't see Victoria in the house. Hey, Victoria. Ernest Johnson in the house. I don't see Dave. All right, but I see Troy. Troy. Oh, there's Dave, and there's Troy. All right. I'm going to give more love back to these two guys again. Hey, Henry. Rondale. Oh, it's true. I know. I try to be nice, but sometimes I know what I'm feeling. I just say it, and I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Dave Hoffman and Troy. Dave Hoffman and Troy. I gave you love earlier, and I should have taken photographs, and that was my fault. I walked around for an hour. I hung around Troy a little bit, and I hung around Dave Hoffman. And I know there's more of you, and I don't want to disconnect anybody who do a fantastic job tailgating all over that State Farm parking lot and everywhere else on the Great Lawn and everything else. You guys really bring it every day, and you're not the only ones that what I witnessed yesterday. But when you guys share your food and you work and sweat to share your love, the God loving food that you guys would do, is still, like I said, on my T-shirt. Okay, I don't know if I can even see it. My mic is too high, right? There it is. It says, "Love always wins." Right? You can go buy it right now. And this is why I want to bring that up. Look at the link for this show, and then you'll see the "Love Always Wins" T-shirt. You guys were just fantastic. I had a couple of those Philly cheesesteaks. There was a line like always. I saw Dave sweating his ass off, his great women working, people. It was just fantastic. You know, when you tailgate, you enjoy drinking, chilling, laughing, staring at the ladies, staring at the guys, right? Playing games and watching games and just hugs and love. And it's just like, it's the greatest party, right? And you got these people who just stay behind a grill and just love that they're taking care of you. Like, that's all I saw, right? That's all I saw. And it's good. The Philly cheesesteaks were off the charts. And the bread was from Philly, right? They got the right meat, right? They had everything right with the cheese. Like, it was right on. It was on. It was so on. I wish I could make Philly cheesesteaks every Sunday at these Cardinal games, right? But got to give the love to these guys and all the other cooks and people who bring it and share their love with their food. Just beautiful stuff. And you sharing it with Eagle fans. That was before the game. I don't know if you're going to share it with them after the game. But before the game, the Philly fans were lining up. There was more green in those lines on those cheesesteaks that were just cracking me up. But yeah, that was a lot of fans. Look behind me in that photograph. I mean, there's a lot of green. That's the Eagle sideline, but it was a lot more wrapping around in the upper decks and things like that. And I love the atmosphere, you know. But let's give it up to those all the great cooks, tailgaters around the stadium yesterday. You guys are doing a great job. And you know, when the stadium goes around and gives the tailgaters, you know, the tailgater of the day, you know, it's sponsored by. That's what it's about. It's a sponsor, right? They all do a great job. They all do. But when I see cooks sweating their asses off in 90 to 100 degree weather, like there's more. Those are the MVPs, man. Right? I mean, I didn't see. You know, there's a lot of you who don't even have the canopy. You're cooking in the sun, right? You got you're doing your best you can. You got your women trying to give you cold stuff to cool you down. You got the cold towel around your neck. You know, it's like these are the MVPs of tailgaters. These are the guys that really just want to share it all. And there's a lot of you. There's so much more that we don't see that's way out there. Right. And that's what I want to do. I want to give him more love besides just thinking about a tough loss yesterday. All right. So Dave says, thanks. You're welcome. Let's see here. Beyond says, I always talk about him. It's finally somebody's vocally. Dave and Henry's still laughing. I'm coming down to break the 8-game losing streak. Jesse, come on down, man. It's about the Saints. Yeah, it's about the Saints. And the Saints are, again, a winnable game. Cardinals can win this game. Don't forget, let's see here. I'm going to go through some more notes. Okay. I'm going to go through, and I got some photos to show you. Oh, you know what? Since I'm on a roll here, and I feel like I'm on a roll. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. All right. Okay. Remember this photograph? Okay. I took this photograph. When did I take it? A couple of weeks ago, right? And the Ram game. This was the Ram game. This is Kyler Murray in his motorcycle cross or motorcycle outfit. He likes green, man. He likes the Eagles colors. I don't get it, right? But just, you know, just living his life. He earned it, his money. He got everything that I want. I want that payday, right? And he's living it, right? So now we're wondering about, is Kyler, you know, where is Kyler's head now, right? What's between the ears? Okay. All right. This fast forward to yesterday. We saw these photographs. For whatever reason, there's more green. Now Marquise is wearing green. Now is it's like, you know, the Eagle thing, or is it about, you know, mentality? Like, we're going to face green. We're going to think beating up on that green, right? Kyle looks good. It looks great, man. Look at the shoes. I mean, he's got the money to spend on it, and then you got the Marquise Brown look. You know, it's got that, you know, the hobo-ish, the the sloppy but stylish look, right? Kind of like this nice style, right? He can get away with it, right? He can get away with it. And you can tell it too. They're almost side by side. It looks like Marquise is even taller than Kyler Murray, right? But look, now I'm going to set you up for something that. Here we go. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? I was hesitant, but I did. And I wasn't the only one that was able to see this. Not the only one with cameras. Kyler came out of the game late, out of the locker room late. Not happy. I do appreciate his mood, meaning he cares. There's no doubt he cares. Okay. All the money that he carries and things like that he's showing off, he truly, truly cares. And he got to his car, got a good friend with him there. His other buddies were there, and they went off on their own car. And Kyler just stood there for a minute and he took a breath, man. And like the parking lot was pretty much empty, down there. And he just went to the back seat and he took off the blazer. And, he was shirtless. He was, it was just hopefully he's wearing underwear. Like he took off his blazer and then it was just, oh, okay. Well, maybe he didn't put his shirt on in the locker room. But if you go back to the other picture, again, I'm not a fashion guy. Looks like he's shirtless and looking stylish, and good for him, man. I mean, it's okay. I'm not against it. I just hope that he's not getting distracted by the other outside sources and things now, that his lifestyle has changed forever, and hopefully he can grow through this. He does look bigger. I don't know if this was meant for him to get bigger so he doesn't get abused physically. Okay, I don't know, because his legs look bigger. His legs look bigger, and I don't know. I'm not saying this is a guy who's just eating well now and blah blah blah. I just can believe that Kyler Murray realized he needs to get bigger to take the pounding in the NFL or something like that. But he does look bigger than he was 4 years ago. I should have gotten a photograph from when he was coming out of college, right? And then today. And generally speaking, most athletes get larger. They work their bodies. They build up. But that's Kyler. That's Kyler Murray, right? We've seen him in t-shirts during, summer camps and stuff. It's not like this is like, wow, this is like National Enquirer. So, but just want to show you, I don't know, just fun or not. Okay. Fun or not, but it is what it is. Joel says he's getting fat. Is it a Prius? No, it's not a Prius. He just cares about his style. That's Henry. Henry says, can you still go play baseball? He's just protecting himself. Very understanding. But we want a quarterback who isn't afraid to lower a shoulder once in a while. And we're going to get back to that first down. Breon, I caught you, Breon. You didn't know that was coming, did you? But it is what it is. Margie says fabulous. Yeah, Green Bay lost in London. And the Giants look good. Hey, Daniel Jones looks like he's better than what Daniel Jones is in a better place. He's not wrecking the scoreboard, but he's got a running game. He's got, the Giants have balance, and you're seeing why they look more like the Cardinals a year ago. Right? They're on that roll. Just like the Eagles are on a roll with their game. Folks, the Eagles lost 3 offensive linemen. They had 2 starters out, and then they lost, I think, their center yesterday. So at one point, for the most part of that game, right, or a good part, they had 3 backups in there. And it was a big part why the Cardinals got to the quarterback, changed that dynamic, and they took care of business. And you give that defensive line, JJ and Zach, a lot of love because they went after it at that D line and they attacked that offensive line, and they took advantage of those injuries for the Eagles. And it showed. And a lot of people don't realize that. Okay. Everybody has injuries. Okay. But it is what it is. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there for you. Breon says, gotta say the kids got swag. Yeah, he does. There's no doubt. I mean, I honestly, I know it's green. I don't know if that is. I'm going back to the photograph. I kind of like what Marquise is wearing. I like it. He looks good. He sells it. Like, he works. It works for him, right? Good job. And then Kyler, that's cool. That's suave. That's like, but what TV, what movie was this suit most famous for? Can somebody name it for me? Just kind of think green, right? With the mask. Is that a hint? Who talks like All right. What movie is that? All right. We'll come back to it. You guys can answer that question if you can. With a mask. Or did I give it away? All right. Okay. So let's break this down further. Go back to the top. We talked about the Kyler slide. Not knowing where the first down is. That is a blunder. That is the guy who just does not know. Just go head first. Do the John Elway. Right. I mean, even the great quarterbacks got to go forward. Right. There's no reasons to slide. This is seconds to go in the game. You go. Right. You give it up. Okay. The slide don't work. This is not baseball, Kyler. You slide wonderfully. Okay. But darn well, in the moment you slide, you lost 3 or 4 yards, right? And he did. He lost, whatever it was, right? He lost it, and it was 4th and 1. Go ahead first, right? And you don't have to go head on head. You just dive first, get low to the ground, take the hit, pump it up, get the first down, then spike the ball, and then think about what? Getting into the end zone, taking a shot in the end zone, okay? And win the game. And then you have 22 seconds. Okay. That's Kyler's fault. He did not slide. Okay. Did not slide. Okay. And a lot of times you got things in your ear, right? Sometimes somebody's got to speak up. This is the moment where people are thinking out of the box. This is where greatness of coaches and things happen in real time. Does somebody get up to him in the huddle, go, Kyler, man, ball it out, man. Let's go. Head down, go. Like, does anybody ever get to, or is this Kyler is in his own world, right? They got microphones in the, what do you call it? In the headsets. They got headsets, right? Kyler, if nothing's there, take it, take off, go ahead first, get that first down. Like, does anybody talk to you? There's a lot of communication, right? There's no reason why, but nothing was like, it just seems like nobody was, it was big clusterfuck everywhere, right? It hurt. I was confused. You were confused. And when I saw the field goal unit go on, I'm going, why are they kicking the field goal, man? Like 22 seconds left. Are they afraid, like, if it's blocked, they recover it? I'm like, but that's 22 seconds left. Okay. And then somebody said, hey, maybe they just didn't want to run a play. It was 4th down. It was 4th down. Okay. I got after the game. I talked to a couple of media people, and they thought maybe the Cardinals were afraid to run out the clock on themselves. And to me, it was more like that's a fear factor. If that's the case, the Cardinals are afraid, and they were playing it safe, right? And they didn't want a turnover. They felt like they were in a good spot. They were in field goal range. And yes, our kicker has made field goals from that point at that spot. So they were conservative. But if you have the other mindset of, hey, let's go win this game, right? Kyler, be smart. Throw it away. Just throw it away. If it's not there, throw it away. Gone. Okay? Or get to that first down, head first, get it. You had it. And it was a big F, man. A big F at the end of the game, and you can blame a lot of people. But in that moment, quarterback, a year ago, you all blamed AJ Green for not turning around. Remember that one? Just remember this one. Not a turnaround. It's just put your head down and go and dive, right? End of the game. You had the game in your hands. You were about to go 3-2. You were about to just shut everybody up and have an ugly, ugly 3-2 record, but it wouldn't matter because you survived it. You were right there. Jobs were being saved. Hot seats got cold, right? It was all sitting there, right? Didn't happen, man. That's all right. They're still around. They got 2 wins. And D-Hop comes back and things will change, okay? The mask. Breon said it was the mask. Jim Carrey, Lucy. Yep. All right. So is this the Jim Carrey outfit? Oh, I'm sorry. One more time. Is that the Jim Carrey in mask? Okay. Day Hoffman says, "Oh my gosh, they just named Wilkes." Yeah, I know. Folks, Wilkes is named coach of the Carolina Panthers. You do know that he was horrible, right? And I believe the NFL knows he was horrible, right? Now, this may touch a sensitive topic for a lot of people. He got hired. Why? Because he has some experience? You know that experience. He did also join the lawsuit with Flores that happened in Miami. Just saying, folks. I'm just saying. The potential of the NFL making sure that they can put out some fires because they're not hiring properly the way their Rooney Rule is supposed to be. This is the route they do. They go hire, what's his name, for Houston Texans, who just, really hasn't done, not a good coach, right? But they won a game yesterday, the Texans. Give them again, if the NFL wants to do it right, you do it the right way and hire through the rankings of interviewing and just go that way. But don't give me this crap. Like you're going to hire a coach that darn well all over NFL and in Arizona, this was a laughing stock. You fired a guy after 1 season, but somehow Carolina wants to hire him as an interim. The chance of this guy being head coach next year relies on him having a great finish. And if he does, Wilkes, he may have just put his hat back in there. We'll see. But the NFL is the Carolina Panthers suck. Just throw them in there because, hey, we're just taking care of our level of what we're supposed to do. This is politics at its greatest, man. It's amazing. Amazing. I mean, for Wilkes itself, good for you, man. Somehow, you got back there and you got a shot. Coach Wilkes got a shot to turn this around. If not, he's still going to be an assistant coach or a DC or whatever coach somewhere. Okay. If anything, I'm not going to, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. That's right. Hire Breon. If you're gonna hire Dave Hoffman, right? Hire all you fans, right? If you're gonna hire Wilkes, right? And if it's a black thing, or minority thing, all right, Breon, you're on. I'm gonna hire you, man, because I gotta hire you. But you know what? I think you may do better than Wilkes. I think he would have done better than Wilkes when he coached the Cardinals, right? No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And you may have turned Josh Rosen into the quarterback he was supposed to be. I don't know about that. But, hey, we don't know, right? But it's funny, right? It's funny how it works, right? It's funny how it works. Football's not the same. It's sad because I love football. Oh, my gosh, yes. Andreas Von Clark in the house. How you doing, my man? Appreciate it. All right, so I only have about 10 more minutes, folks, and I'm just going to try to break down more for you, and then we're going to blow out of here. And then I'm going to recap some stuff in the NFL at the back end of it, okay? All right, so, what I saw yesterday, that the Eagles had more speed than the Cardinals, or the Cardinals weren't utilizing their speed. They were more physical. Cardinals not a physical team. Didn't play physical. Don't play physical. Again, Murray continues to show struggles finding receivers after the primary receiver is covered. These are my notes. Okay, the Eagles continue to run the ball, right? And for some reason, in the first half, the Eagles ran the ball early and it was effective, and then they got away from it. Maybe because the injuries at the offensive line and they started showing up. And give Cardinals credit, but in the second half, they came out of the locker room and the Eagles started what? The Eagles started to run the ball again. And we got this, right? This is Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts took off. All right, they realized they needed more of a balanced attack. But there's Zaven Collins, 25. That's what I see a lot. Zaven Collins is always like that. He's just not in position, or he just doesn't know how to shed a block, or his instincts are just not for the run defense. I started to see Zaven Collins last week and yesterday play more off the edge, or coming off the edge, or circling around the edge. But don't stick him in the middle and expect him to make tackles straight up. He's not that player. Isaiah Simmons, not that player. These guys are not making impacts at that position. And they have talent, and they're not being used right, but they're not middle. They're not supposed to be in the middle. They're not. That's just not their game. They need to use their speed. They need to find a real middle linebacker for these guys to play and utilize their athletic ability. And Zaven may turn out to be something good later on if somebody knows how to get it right. But he's just always out of position. Always. All right. Let's get back to the news here. Let's get back to more Cardinal stuff here. Cardinals not crossing midfield again. It took them like almost the whole second quarter to get past midfield. Remember that? A lot of 3 and outs, right? That's something that cannot happen anymore. It's like you got to have a game plan coming out of the gates. You got to be able to move the ball, right? You can't expect to make comebacks. You're going to get destroyed by the better teams. You're going to get blown out. The blowout's coming if this doesn't get right early on. There's going to be a blowout. You got whooped by KC because you weren't ready, and that's going to happen again. Okay. Now here's this. J.J. Watt's sack and the fumble that was called incomplete. Remember that one? And it was a touchdown by the Cardinals. Remember that one? Zaven Collins picked it up and ran it in. Great. Would have been awesome. And the replay was very controversial still. It left the guy's hand, Jalen Hurts' hand, but was he throwing it? And if he was throwing it, is that intentional grounding? Right, because they called it incomplete pass, right? There was no review, and I don't know why the Cardinals did not challenge that. There were 3 opportunities for the Cardinals to challenge some real relevant plays. This was 6 points. 6 points in the game that you needed to challenge that because it was close. It was close. And I would have been okay with it if it didn't go, because he got hit and he was trying to get rid of the ball. And I didn't get enough looks at the replay. Was that ball starting to come out when he was hit, and the forward hand kind of pushed it out like a pass, or something like he was trying to throw? I mean, it was kind of there, folks, and that was a touchdown. And they didn't call it down, or did they call it down? Or incomplete? I mean, it is an F up. The referees did their part, but the Cardinals could have challenged that and just see. And then were there not enough people in the booth to go, hey, this, or they scared because they didn't want to lose a timeout? That timeout became important at the end of the game if they didn't get this reversed. But if they get it reversed, it's okay. You get your timeout and you get your touchdown. Very big point in the game, right? And great play by JJ. That was a gamer. Those are game changers. That's why JJ and Zach Allen were game changers. This was awesome to see. Ertz was a game changer yesterday, right? Great stuff. But in the last 2 minutes, folks, when your quarterback overthrows a wide open Ertz downfield right before that field goal attempt, that sucked. You can't overthrow in those moments. Your guys are wide open. Can't overthrow it. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. But he's overthrown a couple of receivers, Kyler Murray, all right? The Eagles started getting back to the running game again, and then the Cardinals had problems again. And that's when it was moving the ball, and the Eagles were able to get down the field and be able to kick the deciding field goal. Okay, that was big too. I got to give a lot of love to Eno Benjamin. What a run! What a great effort tying that game up. You know, it was 17-10. The Eagles were in control. They had a lot of momentum. They were back on track. Okay, and that was set up by a Kyler Murray quarterback draw. And then it was, great drive. Maybe their best drive of the season when Eno scored that touchdown, okay? And then the one that hurt the most, again, I repeated it earlier, is the Jalen Thompson interception that should have been, but Murphy got his body in there and broke up the interception by accident. And it was right in Jalen's hand. It was a pick in the end zone. Eagles never would have taken the lead, with 1:48 to go. And that hurt. That hurt a lot. There you have it, folks. Okay. One more stuff here. Eagles had 3 plays over 20 yards. They had a 23-yard pass, a 20-yard pass, and a 31-yard pass. Okay. That helps a lot. The Cardinals couldn't get that. Okay. We're not talking catch and run. We're talking the ball in the air over 20 yards. Okay. Big stuff there. Hits on the quarterback. Jalen Hurts got hit and hit and hit. He got hit 6 times. He was hurried 11 times. He was sacked 2 times, okay? Jalen Hurts. Kyler Murray, on the other hand, was hit twice. He was hurried 6 times and sacked once. Not bad. The Cardinals' offensive line has not been that bad. It's been pretty good. And the Cardinals, there's no reason why Kyler Murray should not be having a better game, especially early on. They're protecting him, and they're doing something better than a year ago. But the Cardinals' defensive line, and they had some blitz. They came in some blitzes and stuff. They surprised me a little bit with some blitzes, the Cardinals. But Jalen Hurts, they had him on the ropes, man. They were chasing him all over the place. And the Eagles retaliated with quarterback draws. They say, all right, you want to come? I'm taking off. Boom. I'm not hesitating. Recognized it and boom, took off. Okay. But give the Cardinals a lot of credit. And that's helped them. And they had to be creative. They had to be. All right. What else we got for you here, guys? All right. We're gonna shift gears slightly here about the NFL. We heard about Coach Wilkes being hired by the Panthers as their interim coach. Okay. There's problems in Los Angeles with the Rams. The Rams are they have problems. Their offense is a mess, folks. The Cardinals were about to be blown out by the Rams, but a lot of reasons. The Rams, their quarterback situation, they're not protecting Stafford at all. Here's a stat for you here. Matthew Stafford has been sacked 16 times in the last 4 games. Yesterday, going into yesterday's game, he was sacked a bunch of times yesterday in the Cowboy game at home. The Rams got problems, folks. It's not just what's happening with your team. Okay, the Rams are not even close to their Super Bowl caliber way. And Matthew Stafford's feeling it and not making good throws. He's feeling pressure. The Rams are a mess. This is good news for the Cardinals because the Rams are not going to take off. But the Rams made deals and trades that took off in the second half of the year. Remember all that? Let's see what the Rams do again, because they're going to do it because this is what they do. Let's see what the Cardinals do, because the Cardinals are going to need some help, okay? But they do get D-Hop back. That does help. All right. This is bad news, okay? We heard about this story about Tua Tagovailoa, and he is going to be out. His career may be over in Miami with the serious concussion and now just brain and neck and just spinal stuff. Like it's just a mess. And he's been advised by people, by neuropathologists, to stay away, just give it up. You made your money, right? Sad story in Miami. Miami was looking great with Tua at quarterback. And now they get Teddy Bridgewater, great backup quarterback. He can start. I would have loved him in Arizona. And Teddy Bridgewater, injured, ruled out. concussion protocol. Miami's down to third quarterback, and they don't even know who's starting next week. Okay? Miami's a mess. So when you think you have it bad somewhere at your team, your team's a mess in Miami. Okay? So just think about this. It's sad, but this is how it works. And we'll see what Miami does. Look for a trade or something going on because they're going to need some depth at quarterback right away. But sad story, but it can happen so fast, folks, in the NFL. Right? Everything is going smoothly, right? And then boom, you just get destroyed. The Buffalo Bills got hit with injuries. They just played a Steeler team that's just not good, and they got lucky. But we'll see how the Bills deal with the Chiefs next week because they got injuries, right? So it's surviving, staying healthy. I mean, and if you're a good team, that's why you go. We'll see what happens with the Chiefs if they can survive the injury list, right? If they end up getting hit, that happens. So be grateful in a lot of ways around the NFL, or if you're a Cardinal fan, because some teams just have it bad. I mean, did you see that the New York Jets put up 40 points against the Dolphins defense, and the Dolphins just couldn't move the ball because the quarterback situation? Also, locally in Arizona State upset Washington, and a lot of people didn't realize that Emory Jones got knocked out with a concussion in the second quarter, and they bring in the backup, and the offense just took off. I don't know how this worked and why it worked that way, but you just never know what you're going to get. But when you start losing quarterbacks, your depth chart gets low real quick, and teams need to scramble real fast. All right, folks, as we're winding down the show, I want to remind you folks that the baseball playoffs continue all over the network itself. I thought I had a schedule for you. Let me see if I can pop it on the screen for you here real quick. The baseball starts, the schedule starts in tomorrow night. The baseball schedule. I thought I had a schedule for. Here it is. Okay. Let me pop it on the screen for you. And a lot of baseball, great wild card weekend where teams had a chance to win 2 games to get to the next round itself. Here's your baseball schedule for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. It starts off at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock Arizona time, Pacific time. And then it goes on 4 games in a row. Stacked. Tuesday is stacked. How about Wednesday's games? Then you have Thursday. Thursday's a great sports night, folks. You got Thursday night football, right? And you're going to have 2 baseball games, American League, Seattle at Houston and Cleveland at New York Yankees, right? So you're going to have a beautiful, great Thursday night if you're a sports fan, kicking it, getting ready for your weekend. Enjoy it. Get your TVs set up. Okay. Good stuff there. I'm looking forward to a great time of the year. Hockey's starting up. The NBA is getting revved up. We're in a beautiful place for sports, folks. Beautiful place for sports. Some troubling news yesterday coming out of that game, the Mets and the Padres series. The Padres go on. They play the Dodgers. Okay. The Phillies upset the Cardinals. They go up against the Braves. Okay. So we're all set. Right? We're all set in the divisional playoff series. Winners of that go on to the championship series, the American and National League Championship Series, and then it's on to the World Series from there. All right, so troubling thing happened yesterday. The Mets were losing big, okay, and their offense was getting schooled by Musgrove, the pitcher, Joe Musgrove, who looked like a Cy Young pitcher. He was just throwing it. And the Mets were desperate, and reports were coming down from all over that Musgrove's spin rate when he throws the hook, the curve, sliders, right, anything, was at his all-time highest. They can dissect the spin rate on balls now, and they can report that, right? And it helps you're strategically hitting the ball, right, and approach. So they noticed that his spin rate was way higher than any other time this year. Red flags went up. And then they started noticing something about his ears. The pitcher, they were highly red and swollen looking, right? So Buck Showalter of the Mets, the manager, timeout, goes out there and questions this, and the umpires literally have to check his ears if he has any substance on it to create that spin rate. Finds out that they were satisfied, okay? Not a lot of happy people in San Diego. They're calling it sore losers and things, but this is baseball. And if you have questions, and as a manager, that's you do whatever you can at this point. Your team's about to get knocked out, and you're down a bunch of runs, right? And then McCutchen, baseball player for the Brewers, says this. This is something that I'm going to read it to you. Maybe small print for you, okay? If you're into baseball, this is something I didn't know. This is pretty interesting because a guaranteed Musgrove, the Padres pitcher, has red hot sauce on his ears. Red hot. That's right, on his ears. Pitchers use it as a mechanism to stay locked in during games. It burns like crazy. I don't know why some guys think it helps them, but it no way is it sticky. Buck Showalter is smart, though. Could be trying just to throw off the pitcher. And that's what it was about. It was a strategic move. If it wasn't anything substance there, that was, but if there is substance, it's still substance. I'm not quite sure if the umpires were able to clarify if that's substance or not. It is still a substance. So I question the umpires right there. Okay. Oh, it's red hot sauce. I mean, they're using something on his ears. If they weren't able to clarify, they should not accept that in baseball. So the umpires let it slide. So if Andrew McCutchen, the player for the Milwaukee Brewers, longtime player, knows this, saying they're using red hot sauce on their ears to stay focused. Whatever substance it is, whatever works, it works, right? But they're looking for the spin rate being so high. And it's why you can explain why Musgrove's ears were glistering, resulting in many on social media watching the game were speculating this. And that's why Mets manager Showalter, former Yankee manager, former Arizona Diamondback manager, and Baltimore Oriole manager, had him checked. And great move. They needed to rattle this pitcher somehow, and didn't quite play out that way. But here's Buck Showalter's comments. Okay, he says this. Talked about it at the game. I changed with I'm charged with doing what is best for the New York Mets. However, it might make me look. I'm doing to do whatever it takes and live with the consequences. Okay, so it makes them look bad, or it makes them look like a sore loser, or whatever it may be. But managers who play by the rules, and he's by the book, Buck Showalter, said that every time, and he'll live with the consequences, and thought it was the right move to do at the right time. And I can't blame him for that. And if you're Joe Musgrove and any Padre fan or player itself, come on, it's baseball. And if it was red hot chili sauce on his ears, it's still substance, and maybe it did work. Maybe it helps the pitcher, right? Got to question that. All right, folks, we got to wrap it up. Appreciate it. Joel says, had a cauliflower ear. Yeah, you can see it. Yes, go look it up. Hot sauce on the ears, crazy stuff. Buck has coached every ML team, I think. Dolphins will be on Josh Rosen's wagon in Miami. Yeah. San Francisco wins the division. Hate to say, they're getting stronger. OBJ comes back, may go with San Fran. He's picking his team. That's beyond. Zach Allen balling out every game. Yes, he is. Andreas Clark says, does Cliff make it out of the season? Yes. Yes. He does. Unless it turns into like 3-14, if it's something like that. Okay. Cardinals lowest in the NFL in pass yards per attempt, 0 points in the first quarter in 5 games. That's Dave Hoffman. Matt Rule and Bruce Arians both started their careers at Temple. Rule went to Baylor and then went on to. That's good stuff there, Dave. All right, we're good stuff there. All right, folks, I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate your love itself. Don't forget my T-shirt still. All my sponsors at the bottom of the screen itself. I don't know why. Man, my sponsors were off the screen that whole time. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. But I do want to say this. You get out there, and if you can buy the T-shirt itself, love always wins. Love always. It's on the post. The link is there. Check it out. Okay, it's right there. And also, if you like Jesus and you want a Jesus Energy T-shirt, there's one there for you too. I got another T-shirt coming out that says "I get it." It's not sexual. It's just about understanding life. I get it. You figured it out. Like the light bulb goes on. And I wonder if Kyler Murray is ever going to get that light bulb turned on. I get it. All right, folks. If you can check it out itself, I appreciate it. A lot of love to you guys. The music is up. Okay. And love always wins, right? Global Sports Broadcasting Network, Cornelius, Brad, Hanna, right here on Hanna Time. We'll see you Thursday night from JJ Grub Shack in East Mesa, Arizona. Lots of baseball, lots of football. A great night. Come out and join me. Hang out, eat some food, and we'll watch some games together. Good times, too. All right, that's Thursday night right here on Hanna Time. Have a great Monday, folks. We love you, man.